Before there was Uncharted, and before there was the masterpiece known as The Last of Us, Naughty Dog made a series of platformers to grace the PS2. I'll be covering the entire trilogy of this series, starting from the beginning, obviously. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. After Naughty Dog lost the rights to another fantastic platforming franchise, Crash Bandicoot, and sadly, like Spyro, it became a mere shadow of its former self before completely disappearing from existence, they began work on a new IP for the PS2. Jak and Daxter at the time was a different kind of platformer. Rather than going from point A to point B like your Marios and your Sonics, the entire game was in an open world. The game starts with Samus spouting some hippie mumbo-jumbo.
What was their purpose, and why did they vanish? I have asked the plants, but they do not remember. The plants have asked the rocks, but the rocks do not recall. Even the rocks do not recall.
And our two main characters riding on a speedboat to a dangerous island called Misty Island, as they see the game's antagonists, Gal and Maya, plotting to search for artifacts and eco. While Jak got into a fight with a lurker, his sidekick Daxter falls into a pool of dark eco, and turns into a creature that's a mixture of an otter and a weasel. They return to Sandover Village to give Samus the 411 on what happened, and Kira, Samus' daughter, informs you that you need to collect power cells to advance to Rock Village, Volcanic Crater, etc., till you eventually get to stop/beat the shit out of Gal and Maya. The story is very simple, especially when compared to the sequels, but hey, this is the first in the whole franchise, so it gets the job done. While Crash Bandicoot was a very linear kind of game, where you run through corridors to get to the end of the level, Jak and Daxter, like I mentioned earlier, is a huge open world game. What's really cool is that even with this big open world, you don't have to wait through some big loading times like in most games, even when you're going to far off areas. And like games such as Banjo-Kazooie, Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, etc., you'll be doing a lot of collecting. Be it orbs, power cells, scout flies, etc. Power cells are basically your power stars in this game, and you'll find them in random places, find 7 scout flies in each area, beating a boss, or doing tasks for the villagers. Speaking of villagers, these people are very entertaining to listen to. Sometimes they want your orbs, the 2 miners have you do this 4 times for some reason, and sometimes you'll trigger a minigame. I found the fisherman one to be kinda easy once you get the hang of it, but man does he not stop laughing. By the way, that guy's voice sounds vaguely familiar. I can't exactly put my finger on it, though. Holy fucking shit! The fisherman is voiced by Kevin Conroy. The fisherman is the goddamn Batman! Anyways, Jak is a pretty skilled fighter, as he can double jump, roll for a longer jump, a forward punch, and like his predecessor Crash, he can perform a spin. You also have some eco power-ups that you'll use throughout the game. Blue Eco gives Jak the ability to run really fast, although you still can't beat Sonic in a race, because gotta go fast. It also opens some stuff too. Green Eco gives you health, although getting health in this game kinda sucks, because you need to collect 50 of the Green Eco to actually help you heal up. Except for when you find the big blobs of Green Eco lying around somewhere. Red strengthens your attacks, and yellow allows you to throw fireballs. In some levels, you have to ride a vehicle called the Zoomer, and a giant bird called the Flute, which is a lot of fun to use. Sadly, Daxter in this game doesn't do anything, and he is never once used as a gameplay element.
I'm doomed.
But because Jak can't speak, and that was never addressed for some reason, you'll have Daxter spouting some hilarious stuff, and he'll crack a joke when he sees his bro get killed right in front of him.
Don't step into the light, Jak! Don't step into the light!
He's like Bender from Futurama. He's a douchebag, but I like him. Each of the 3 hub worlds has a good amount of levels scattered around, with a good variety of locations and challenges. You've got a Zoomer course over lava, an underwater city full of technology, which I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me that this is the best level of the game, a swamp, and a cave. I found a lot of annoyances with Snowy Mountain, but overall the levels are fantastic. Visually, the game is really good looking. The areas are a treat for the eye, and like games like Ocarina of Time, there's a day and night system, and you'll get immersed in how the locations look through the different times of the day. Sadly, the character models have not aged well, especially when compared to Jak's 2 and 3. But hey, I'll cut it a little slack. It was 2001 after all. The music, on the other hand, is very forgettable. While I have heard worse, it doesn't really stop the fact that the soundtrack is just bland. Anyways, once you get to Golemaya's Citadel, rescue all the sages, fight a giant robot, use Light Eco and turn into Light Jak, which sadly is the only time it's used in the game, and instead of actually playing as Light Jak, it's only a cutscene. Jak almost gets a kiss from Kira, but Daxter decides to be a cockblock like Junpei from Persona 3, and that's the game. I can honestly say that even after all these years, this game is still fantastic. Great level design, and fun and likable characters. This game really stood out to me back then, and even as an adult, I still find this to be a great experience, even though the game is pretty easy. And that's why I give Jak and Daxter a 9 out of 10. But we're not done here just yet. Bring out your guns, because next time we're venturing forth into the sequel. Peace out.